Esther Nyanchama lives in Kianda. It is one of the 13 villages in Kibera, the largest urban slum in Africa, with close to 1 million residents. Since schools were closed due to COVID-19, many girls started indulging in.
So this was filmed with a broadcast camera that was taken from a local TV station. So Deutsche Welle worked with local TV stations in the area as well. So if you're a local TV station or a national TV publisher, it might be a really interesting play just to send a reporter and a cameraman to a school or to a youth group once a week and giving that youth group a short lesson in how to film, and then being able to produce amazing content like this that really outperforms on social media, because one, it's something unique and unusual that people aren't used to seeing, and two, it gives the young people in the area the ability to kind of share their thoughts and share their feelings and share the stories that aren't represented in traditional media. So it's a really interesting model. Please check it out. It's called Girls Off Mute. It's a really cool thing. And it's in the database. Just going to skip through for time. I can see lots of people commenting, so I will get to your comments in a second. So Mojo, using the Ferrari in your pocket. And this is the bit where we are really passionate about. And I know a lot of you are now super interested in copying. So I really wanted to give you a very quick run through of this. Again, if this is something that you're interested in, I'm more than happy to do a follow-up course on this and really go into the nitty-gritties of how to produce mobile journalism content on the regular. So as I've explained, it's one-person storytelling, first-person testimonies, up-close reporting, on-the-move reporting, which is really cool. For example, if I see an attack on the tube in London, I can quickly get my phone out and record it. I'm always there for whatever moment happens, which is really useful. And you can also use augmented reality to enhance storytelling and protect identities, which I'll go over in a little bit. Why Mojo? It plays well on social, really important. It's less invasive, as I spoke about earlier, and it is also cost effective because I can guarantee almost every single one of your reporters will have a mobile phone. It means that you don't have to buy additional equipment, which is really useful. Also leads to deeper, more personal stories as well. Your phone is always prepped to film. So basics of shooting. I'm just going to quickly share my beautiful face with you all. 1 second. Great. Sorry, just for time, I know we're overrun and Yusuf's still got to go through all of his, so I'm just going to race through a few of these things. So you can see my beautiful face now without a lens on, and I apologize, it's terrible this morning. Okay, so in terms of Mojo, there's a few steps I want to show you quickly. So everybody needs to hold their phone like this. What you often see is when people are filming, they will switch from vertical like this to horizontal like this, halfway through the footage. This is not good. You need to keep to one orientation the whole way through. So for most platforms, you want vertical. This is vertical. It's really important that you pick one. If you are going to film for YouTube, you want horizontal mostly. YouTube Shorts does allow for vertical frames, but in reality, you do need to have, most platforms are vertical first. So you might want to think about what kind of format you want to work with. We always work with vertical, that's how we work. In terms of that, so that's orientation. In terms of the second thing that people often do when they're speaking is they don't look at the camera. So right now, I'm looking at the screen. You can see my eye line is slightly off. Whereas right now I'm looking at the camera, right? The camera is here at the top. People get very distracted by this screen in front of them and don't focus on the camera at the top. What we often ask people to do is film with the back camera. Sorry, let me just turn it around because I'm selfie. Is film with the back camera because it's much easier to look at the screen, look at the camera, not the screen on the back camera. And you can also get much nicer wide shots as well. So if you're asking people to film, sometimes it's useful to ask them to film with the back camera, or just make sure, do a test run with them if you're interviewing them on Zoom, and then you get them to set up their phone camera as well. Make sure that you've done a test run so you can watch back their footage and just make sure that they're staring at the right place here and not staring at the screen. Third, something that's super, super important, people forget, is silhouetting. So right now you can see, you can't really see me because I've got a massive light above me or behind me. which makes it very, very difficult to see. You need to make sure that the light is in front of your face, in front of the person filming, okay? So whenever you're filming somebody, and this goes when you're filming people in the field as well, if you're going out with your phone camera to film other people, make sure that the light is always in front of the person speaking to the camera. So behind the camera itself. Don't get the sun or the light in the room behind the person who's speaking to camera, because this will happen and it's very, very difficult to see them. That includes windows. So I've got my shutters closed right here now. It includes windows or any other light source in the area. Fourth, a really important point is making sure that your sound is okay. So a lot of people, again, when they're filming with a mobile phone, don't take into context wind or noise, noise from the road or noise from a heater, or you could probably hear my laptop in the background as well, which is very, very loud. So making sure that there's no exterior noises in your space. Yusuf, who's just joined the call, always uses a microphone when he's speaking, and just a pair of headphones that he then connects to the phone. That is great, but when you're filming, you need to make sure that the person that you're filming isn't messing with their shirts, in the same way that you have to check with broadcast media, that they're not kind of moving around in their clothes and ruining the audio by the rustling of their clothes. With a mobile phone, the audio, the mic in the phone is actually really good and you can use it. But what you want to do is not have them really far away when they're speaking to camera, but have them a little bit closer so that you can hear, and have them speak louder than they usually would speak. I don't usually speak at this level. If I was speaking to you normally, I'd be speaking like this, and this would be my normal level. But I'm over speaking because I'm presenting to you, and you have to explain that to the people that you work with as well. Anybody that you're interviewing needs to speak louder than they usually would speak. And that's a really, really important point. And then lastly, something that makes your video content much more professional, and in terms of making sure that you're writing to visuals, is filming in sequences. So a lot of people, when they're filming, especially for things like TikTok, where they don't think it matters, is making sure that you have a sequence. So for example, if I'm gonna be talking about making coffee, right? If I'm talking about making a cup of coffee from, I don't know, sustainable grounds that have been made by sustainable farmers, I don't just film myself drinking the coffee. That's not going to be the only shot that I film. I want the whole process of filming the coffee. Okay, so making the coffee. So I want to film myself drinking the coffee, yes, but the first thing that I want to start with is me actually boiling the kettle, or even more, actually getting the grounds from the ground, putting them into a bag, weighing them, bringing them to me then using them by boiling a kettle, then putting them into the cup, then adding milk or water, then drinking it slowly but surely. And I want a shot for each one of those so that the sequence runs through. So you're actually watching me do the things. You don't want items just to appear into space. You want them to be a sequential sequence. For example, if we're talking about somebody's day, we want them to film their day in terms of what they do waking up, then they're brushing their teeth. If they're talking about how hard it is because they have a mental health condition, for example, to get out of bed and to go to work, we don't want to just film them kind of in a ball on the sofa. We want to show them kind of struggling to get out of bed. We want to show the ability of them kind of locking the door, maybe to indicate that they're not going out. And we want a shot of them walking down the stairs to do that. This is all about storytelling, visual storytelling. It helps people see the story as you're unfolding it. And it makes it really, really useful when you're filming for TikTok, for example, with transitions, and making sure that the shots and the story flow into each other, which is really, really important. Also helps build up suspense as well. In terms of TikTok, just while I have you all on here, just gonna share my screen still. So I have TikTok in here. Oh, that's the wrong one. TikTok in here. It's just going to make a sound when it first launches, and I apologize. You see there's lots of ads in here. Little dog video there. So on TikTok, I'm just going to go through this quickly because I know you're going to have another tutorial on this, but 60 seconds is a good length. 3 minutes is often too long. 60 seconds is good. You can play around with effects. They actually have lenses in here. So for example, I want to make myself beautiful. I might use this one. And then you can film directly and edit directly in TikTok as well, which is really useful. So if I'm doing a quick explain a piece on how to fact check, I might go quickly like, how do you tell what is fake and what is real? I'm going to tell you how. Okay, so what I've done there is I've moved the camera in and out to play with different angles. This is very, very effective to keep people's attention. If you're just filming them straight in one place, people get a little bit bored. They're not very interested. Okay, I then might do a step-by-step process. Again, something to build up suspense to keep people watching. So I might go, here's 3 ways to fact check information. Okay, you can notice that every single time I'm taking my finger off the button because I'm recording it in little spots. This is a very quick way of doing a TikTok video. A lot of people do TikTok videos outside of the app, which is really, really easy, but you can, what I'm trying to show you is that it's really easy to do it within the app as well. Step 1, okay. Look at the information in the video file, see the time and the date, and see if it's accurate to what you know about the event. Okay. And on top of this, I might add in videos. So like once you're in the editing mode in a second, you can add like overlays as well. You can also use this, for example, here. I'm just going to keep current selection for now. You can put photos behind you as well. So if I had a relevant photo to do with, for example, if I'm talking about fact checking the Ukrainian war, for example, I might have an example of a fake news behind me as I'm talking about it. Really, really simple. As again, TikTok have this built in, which is super, super useful. And then I might go to reverse Google image search. Again, I might then show a little video of how to do that. Once I've finished, I'm just going to flick through because of time. I can then press this. I can add the sound. Click. And then I can add some sound. So if I want to add music, I don't know if you can still see this online, or is it stopped? 1 second. Let me stop sharing. Let's start share again quickly. Sorry about this, guys. Sometimes it does this. Share. Okay. There we are. Okay. Okay, then we go back. So you can. Ooh. So that sounds not very good. How do you tell what is fake? I'm gonna turn the sound down. And what is real? So you can adjust the sound at the bottom here. So I can add the sound up. I can make my sound louder. Step 1. Look. I don't really like the sound though, so I might go down. See the time and the date. And see what's trending. See if I've got any favorites. Reverse Google image search. How do you tell what is fake? How do you? And all of these are things that are trending at the moment. How do you tell what is fake? And what is real? And then you can also add live and captions in here, so it can process the captions for you. How do you tell what is fake? And what is? And what I'd advise is if you move the captions up a little bit, you can edit them too as well if it hasn't copied exactly what you need. How do you tell what is fake? Move them up the screen if possible. You can add filters, you can adjust the clips as well individually. So and what is real? I might want to cut this in a little bit because I started a little bit late. And what is real? Okay. Go through, and then you can also go to next, and then you can add in hashtags here. Let's say fake news is a massive one. You see how much it's trending as well when you click on it. Okay, 1.8 billion views. That's a great one to use. I can add mentions in, and then I can tag people if I need to as well. And I can say, who can watch this video? Only me, friends, or everyone. If I put only me, then nobody else is going to see it. So I want everyone. Allow comments, allow duets so people can duet with me. And then I can also post it to different platforms as well if I want, and I can press post. I'm going to save it to drafts for now. So that's just one example very quickly of how to do a TikTok video and how quickly and easily it is. If you can, in terms of the TikTok stuff that I was just showing you, A good thing to look at is the Washington Post. There's also some really, what Yusuf will go through next time, is some really interesting other examples of how each individual news publication has basically built whole million views on TikTok just by providing verification kind of step throughs, like I just showed you. This is the Washington Post one, for example. Please check them out if you want an example of how you can take those kind of skill sets on platforms like TikTok. All of this formatting your video stuff is on the PDF that will be sent to you shortly. So you'll also have this, which is really, really useful. And it breaks down exactly how to format for each individual platform. Now, just to wrap up quickly, what we've spoken about is one, take one digital property, one way of kind of approaching younger audiences. I've gone through quite a lot here. Yusuf will go through even more in the next session.